Welcome to week 4 of the Maze Runner. This week, we will be focusing on several literary analysis questions from chapters 34 on through 45. So, let's go ahead and get started. For chapters 34 through 36, the statement everything is going to change is the theme of this particular response. Now, when we started the novel, we did a prediction writing prompt where we thought about what the quote, everything is going to change, might mean. However, at this point in our novel, since we're over halfway, we are beginning to see some changes. So, your task is to explain how this statement, everything is going to change, foreshadowed the events which occur in chapter 36. Your job in your response is to formulate a topic sentence that restates the quote, everything is going to change, includes the word foreshadowing, and talks about the novel The Maze Runner. Following your topic sentence, you are expected to use at least 3 pieces of textual evidence with documentation from chapter 36 to support your response. Now, as we move on down the line here to chapters 37 through 39, we're going to be talking about the use of descriptive language within the text. So, your prompt reads, how does the use of descriptive language and the use of a simile enhance the suspense building up at the end of chapter 38? So, your job is to find and explain the simile on page 254 and then find 4 descriptive words from pages 254 to 255. Now, you are using both of these elements, the simile and the descriptive words, to build your response in chapters 37 through 39. Moving on down here to chapters 40 to 42, this prompt has to do with text-based analysis. This is something that you will see on the PSSA, and the opportunity to practice is always a good thing. So, in chapter 39, the character Gally says his opinion regarding the maze, and in chapter 40, Teresa and Thomas are discussing Gally's quote. Now, your job is to explain how Thomas examines the variables and attempts to crack the code within the maze. Your job here is to begin the paragraph response with a topic sentence. So we're explaining the characters in the story, we're talking about what has occurred in the plot up until this point, and then following that, once you've set up your topic sentence, your job is to use at least 3 pieces of textual evidence as you respond to the prompt. Now, once you've used your text to explain Thomas's variables and his attempts to crack the code, your job is to summarize all that in a concluding sentence. Now, let's move on to our last prompt for the week, chapters 43 to 45. Now, we talked about the theme of friendship as we introduced the novel. In this particular prompt, your job is to talk about Teresa and Thomas's bond or their friendship. Use chapter 44 to describe the type of friendship they have and how Teresa and Thomas feel about one another. Now, your job in this prompt is to focus on all of the pieces of an excellent paragraph. First, you're going to begin with a topic sentence that describes the nature of Teresa and Thomas's relationship. Then, in the body of your paragraph, first you are expected to tell how Thomas feels about Teresa, and then use textual evidence to support your opinion. Next, you want to explain how Teresa feels about Thomas, and then, after that sentence, you are to use textual evidence to support that opinion. Finally, we're going to wrap everything up with a concluding sentence that sums up the type of relationship that Teresa and Thomas have. Now, one thing you want to make sure that you're doing in the conclusion is using different words than your topic sentence. You don't want to just rewrite the topic sentence because the reader has already read that particular sentence. So you're going to use those elements but essentially rewording what you've written in the topic sentence. So there you have the verbal instructions from chapters 45 all the way back to 34. So another exciting week in the Maze Runner. We will be learning more about Teresa and Thomas's adventures as they attempt to solve the mystery of the maze. Have a good week, everybody.